Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Ker Nethalas. So this is going to be my first and only review on the channel to this point. And generally you're not going to see a lot of reviews on my channel. There's a few reasons for that. The first one is that I'm pretty much only going to be reviewing games that I have personally played 10, 20 or more hours. And at this point I have played Ker Nethalas probably over 30 hours. And I can certainly see myself playing another 30 hours. Another reason that you may not see a lot of reviews on my channel is that I'm not going to be reviewing games that I don't like. I really don't have time to review games that I don't like. And so you're only going to see a review when there's something that I really want to recommend to people, something that I wholeheartedly would recommend. And so would I wholeheartedly recommend Ker Nethalas? Yes, I absolutely would. So what is Ker Nethalas? So Ker Nethalas is a dark fantasy dungeon crawler, and it is created by Alex T, aka Blackoath Entertainment. And overall, I would say that Alex has done an amazing job with Ker Nethalas, and I will explain why that is. This review is mostly going to be just my own thoughts about the game, and maybe even a little bit rambling a little bit, hopefully not too long. If you would like to see a very detailed review going through every section of the game and really kind of like giving you all the detail of what Ker Nethalas is, I would highly recommend that you watch the review of Ker Nethalas on the Dungeon Dive channel. He's done really an excellent job with the review and going through all the detail, and so I'm not even going to try to do a review like that. And there are several other reviews of Ker Nethalas on YouTube at this point, so the game, I think, is becoming pretty well known, I would say. And so I'm really just going to focus on my own thoughts about the game and really kind of an informal review. I will be kind of flipping through the book and looking at the different sections and just sort of letting you know what I think about each part of the game, but I'm not going to be explaining it in detail. Alright, so with Ker Nethalas, I first saw the game on the Geek Gamers channel. I believe Deborah is the name of the owner of the Geek Gamers channel, and certainly after learning about her channel, she's definitely a very influential person in the solo RPG community, and she certainly influenced me to pick up this game. When I saw Ker Nethalas on her channel, I think I was just immediately struck by the theme and the style of the game. I just think it has a very, very strong theme, and certainly it's not the only dark fantasy game out there. There are, lots of fantasy games and dark fantasy games, but I think something about Ker Nethalas really just hits all the right notes. It has just the right level of things being very familiar, but also being a little bit different and unique. And just the whole style and theme really just is perfect for me. It really, I think it's just hard to beat, honestly. Even if I compare it to video games that I like, because I come from a background of video games. Even among the video games that I like, I think this Ker Nethalas really just hits the theme so well. So really just a great job there to Alex on the world building and the themes, and also to the artists as well. The art by Jose Antonio Avila Herrero, probably saying the name wrong, I'm sorry about that, and Mihailo M. and Carlos Castillo, and really just everyone involved with creating the look and feel of the game just absolutely nailed it. So I mean, amazing job there. Okay, and then again, going into the world building, the world that Alex has built here is just really great. It's not too wordy and not too heavy, but it has just the right amount, I think, of detail to get into it. And when I say just the right amount, I think that's something that really describes Ker Nethalas overall. Is that it's a very well balanced game. Um, it's a balance between complexity and simplicity. It's a balance between welcoming new players, but also offering some challenge and depth to experienced players or players that are looking for something a little bit deeper than just a very very simple game. And also, just the balance between the lore and the gameplay and everything is just a very well crafted, well balanced product, and it's something that's a little bit hard to kind of put your finger on, but you just feel that there's just the right amount of everything in here. And then I think the majority of really great RPGs they start with really great character creation, and here we are in the character creation, and there's just a huge variety of things that you can do with your character with the mastery system. There's something like 20 different masteries. Every single one of them has some kind of ability that you get just for taking that mastery, some kind of a passive ability or a special ability that you have here in this text box. And a lot of these abilities are very unique. You're not going to find them anywhere else. And then you also have these, every mastery has 5 tiers of special actions that you can perform, and every mastery also has some background lore that goes along with it. And again, that's another thing that is great about Ker Nethalas. If you want to add a lot of background to your character in the creation, through your mastery, but also through the what crime you were accused of. All of that is there, and you can ignore it or you can use it, and you can really make it part of your character if you want. And that does give you quite a bit of freedom and variety with the character creation. And so, when I first saw all these masteries, and when I realized, how much variety there is, how you can mix and match them, I just was instantly like, okay, I need to play this game. I need to get into this. I need to make a character. And so I really love this kind of customization and sort of solving the problem of how are you going to put different masteries together, and how are you going to find these synergies. And it reminds me of some of the greatest action RPGs and things like that I've played. Diablo always comes to mind, but I think another one would be Grim Dawn. If anyone has ever played Grim Dawn, I think it's a great action RPG, and this kind of reminds me of that as well. But yeah, I just love this. And again, all these masteries, they're all a little bit familiar, but they're all also very, they all also have a level of uniqueness to them as well. So it's not just, really like generic or something. There's really a lot of flavor and, craft put into all these. And I find them all very intriguing. And so you certainly have a lot of depth there to how you can create different characters. So it's a very strong point of the game. And then getting into the rules, I mean, the combat is very deep. There's a lot of detail to the combat. And certainly the combat does get easier as you learn the flow of it. And, it can get to a point where, like, say, if you fight the same enemy many, many times, the combat can start to feel a little bit mundane. But I think overall you have so much depth here that the combat is always at least somewhat interesting, and there's always something new going on. So I like games where the gameplay, the core gameplay components, combat usually being a big one, has a lot of dynamic, randomness and variety to it. And generally speaking, it's not too predictable. So really the combat is great for me. It does require quite a bit of learning to really get a handle on the whole thing. And maybe one small negative about some of the rules and things is that the way that some things are worded can be a little bit vague, and it can be a little bit hard to get a clear understanding of exactly how something should be done. So I think that's something that could be improved a little bit. And Alex has already done several updates to the rules as well, and some of those updates have clarified things. So that's something that Alex is aware of and has already taken steps to address as well. So exploration, exploration is always a great part of the kind of games that I like to play, and I find the exploration to be quite fun in Ker Nethalas, and there's quite a lot of depth to it as well. You have different flavor text things that you can look at, and you have many different events, and a lot of these events also have their own sort of flavor text as well. They're really quite evocative. It's not simply just oh, you saw a trap. There are some that are simple, but they have there's lore and things built into these as well, so it makes the events quite interesting. And then one thing that I really like about the exploration is the tension die mechanic and the growing darkness. I think this is really great. I like this very much. It really adds a lot to the game. It adds tension to the game, but also adds a lot of intrigue and challenge to the game. And it's just a system that I like very, very much, and very well done. And then also camping. I think camping is very well done. I like the way that you really have to struggle with these difficult decisions. Should I camp now? Should I camp later? If I camp now, I can identify my magic items. But if I camp now, maybe I'm going to waste some resources, or I'm going to be camping too soon. So the way that camping is handled and all the different activities that you can do with camping, and then, again, the risk as well of camping. That if you get attacked, if you don't set a high enough camp roll. So camping really has this risk reward and a lot of tough decision making to it, and I think it's really well done. And then potions. Actually, this potion aging chart is really cool because for example, if you roll a 20, the potion is going to give you a permanent effect. So you can have a potion that will permanently give you a bonus, and you can also have potions that are pretty much just about going to kill you as well. So there's a lot of risk reward there with potions, and actually those are quite fun. Another system that I like very, very much is the personal goals. It's really cool that you can give your character 2 personal goals, and they really allow you to sort of find these really nice perks, rewards that you can give yourself, and they give you a lot of incentive to go out into the world and to do things and to play the game, and to keep exploring. And it's a really great system. I think it can probably even more can be done with it, but I really, really like it. It's just very well done and really makes the game a lot of fun. So then we get into the combat encounters. These are all your different creatures. So you've got about 40 different creatures here. The creatures, I think, are really well done. All the descriptions are really well done. All of the attacks that the creatures have are really well done. Yes, if you do fight the same creature over and over, it can get a little bit repetitive, but generally speaking, at least the first couple times that you encounter every creature, they're really a lot of fun to face, and they all have very cool attacks, and all their attacks really fit well with the theme of the character of the creatures. I think the only thing I would say about the creatures is to improve them is maybe if there is a little bit more creatures, but there are more creatures actually in the game now with the official zines, the Valorian Codex. There is actually 2 Valorian Codexes now, and those do introduce a lot more creatures. But if we're looking just at the core book, maybe about 10 or 15 more creatures would have been about right. And then also, you do have art for the creatures kind of spread throughout the book, but I think that it's only, roughly maybe not even half of the creatures have art, somewhere around there. And it would be nice if more of the creatures had art as well. And then we get into the overseers, and the overseers, these are really great. Every single overseer has, just a lot of uniqueness and flavor to it, and they have really unique and awesome attacks. Some of these attacks are really scary, and they all have really great descriptions. And The overseers are really well done. They're all very exciting to fight, and you're never going to have a boring fight with one of these guys. They're really fun to fight, and I like them a lot. And when you add in the other two codexes, the zines, you get more overseers, and more overseers is always a good thing. And so going on to the spoils and loot. Again, this is another thing where, similar to combat, there's a lot of detail, there's a lot of randomness, and there's a lot of depth here. And overall, it's a fairly simple and elegant system, but there's a lot of randomness to what can happen. I like the lore books. This is actually really cool here because what Alex has done is taken lore and put it out into the world and made it an item that you can discover. And I've actually had to prevent myself from just sitting here and reading all these because I would actually like to collect them in the game, and I have collected a few of them. But this is a really cool idea, and I think I would like to see this, even more somehow with this, somehow add more things to it. But a really great idea, and it actually makes you want to get into the actual lore of the game, and the lore that's in there is very well written. And so then, with magic items, the magic item generation is really great. A lot of detail to it. There's so many different possibilities of what you can create, and you have unique tables for armor, for gloves, for boots, for belts. All these different items, rings. They all have their own unique table of what you can generate. And it's been a lot of fun, finding items and seeing what kind of items you get. I've enjoyed all that very much. You have, relics, and these relics are, very powerful items, and they're very cool, very, very nice to find them. Again, with the relics, because these are such a, high-level, unique item, it would be nice if there was a little bit more art, I think, for the relics. Maybe not every single one of them, but I think we pretty much only have, maybe one or two artworks for the relics. So it'd be nice if there's a little bit more artworks to show off the relics as well. And then this part here, this is actually kind of your tutorial chapter, and this sort of brings up a point with the book that kind of the layout of things I think could be a little bit improved. It's actually quite easy to kind of overlook this, or to because you can actually start the game a couple different ways, and it's easy to sort of overlook how you can start the game, because you can play this whole tutorial, but you can also sort of jump in, and you really have to go here to the back of the book and look through this to find it. So but I know that that's something that Alex is aware of and wants to improve in the future games, and it's not a huge deal, but yeah, I think it would improve improving the overall layout of the book would be great. And then, like here with this index of tables, this is very, very nice. I like having this, but I think it would be even better in addition to this if we just had several tables right here. Maybe we could just have almost the majority of the tables in the game could just be here in the back of the book. Would be really great as well. But those are things that I know Alex is aware of, and he's also working to address those as well with some of the updates. And really, I want to say that one of the biggest reasons that I would recommend this game to anyone is that Alex is very, very active with the community. He's really active in supporting his games, and he's put a lot of work into Ker Nethalas, even after the game has been complete. He's got a lot of more content and things that are coming for the game, and with the two zines, that the game is even drastically improved even from where it is now. And I would say that even just with the core book, it's already an excellent game. So that if you buy this game, or you buy one of Alex's products, he's going to really just give you an unparalleled level of support. So I think it'd be hard pressed to find another author or creator that stands behind his product so much. So I really want to give a shout out to Alex on that, and it adds a lot of value to the game. And so, Ker Nethalas. So, what are my final thoughts on it? I mean, really, I would say that it's pretty much a masterpiece. I would say that this game is a masterpiece. I absolutely love the game, and if I was going to rate it, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. And really, the only negatives again are just some of the text being a little bit too vague. Things could be a little bit more clear, and just sort of the layout of the book itself could be improved a little bit. But there's so much to like here, and as I said, I believe it is a masterpiece. I would recommend it to new players, and I would also recommend it to experienced players. I think as long as you are okay with a very rules-driven game, and you're okay with a dungeon crawler, and especially if you like dark fantasy, you really can't go wrong. I think it's really hard to beat. It's a great game. So I thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you soon with the series with Jed. The Adventures of Jed are going to continue very soon.